Ever seen the armoured troops of today with their emu feathers? Or that of the light horse regiments of old and wondered where that tradition came from? Turns out the origin of this heritage actually comes from Queensland. Let me explain. In 1891, the country was descending into the 1890s depression and the shearers of this state went on strike. Soldiers were sent from Brisbane, Mackay, Rockhampton, Wide Bay, all over Queensland. These soldiers were sent to aid the powers that were. So they sometimes did things like escorting non-unionised shearers to shearing sheds, or they occasionally bayonet charged shearers that were causing trouble. Yeah. According to most sources, the Gympie Mounted Infantry Squadron were the first to wear the emu feather. To entertain themselves, they started chasing down emus and trying to pluck out their chest feathers, which they would then adorn their hats with. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen an emu run, but contrary to what the AI here is showing, they're very quick. They can run about 50 kilometers an hour. So to be able to run up beside them and pluck a feather from here is actually quite amazing horsemanship. Now sure, Gympie was the first to be allowed to wear the emu, but soon it's all of Queensland's mounted units. When we go to the Boer War, guess what we're wearing? Yeah, how's that for damn stylish? It was only us originally. Units from other states had their own kind of plumes. However, that was about to change. In 1903, it was announced that there would be a change in uniform, and Queensland would not be the only state to wear the emu feather, because now both South Australia and Tasmania were allowed to wear it too. From 1911 to 1912, there's a new uniform brought out, and this time it doesn't make any allowances for the emu plume. But Queensland says hell to the rules and wears it anyway. Annoyingly, I don't have any pictures of Queenslanders breaking the rules from this time, but I do have a picture from the year after. And look where they reckon they're from. Isn't that neat? At the beginning of World War I, only Queensland was allowed to wear this plume, but once again, that was about to change. Fun fact, the blokes in this picture are from Enoggera. But in 1915, when the 3rd Light Horse Brigade, which had regiments from Victoria and South Australia and Western Australia, turned up in Egypt, they too were wearing this plume, and it very nearly became a fight. Now, it wasn't just soldiers on the front lines who were angry. Top brass even got involved. General Sir William Birdwood was forced to summon a conference of brigadiers, and they just fought amongst themselves. Sir Henry Chauvel, who would go on to being the general who would give the order for the Bathsheba attack, was very Queensland should be the only one who should wear the feather. In the end, it was the bloody Minister of Defence, Senator George Pearce, who had to sort it out. Sir George Pearce was like, either all the light horse get to wear it, or no one gets to wear it. So our boys were like, oh, all right, fair enough then. And that's how it spread to the rest of the light horse units of Australia. But the silliness of our story doesn't quite end there. So our boys entertained themselves by telling foreigners all number of, silly stories whenever they came across them overseas. And, they'd ask things like,
I noticed a feather upon your head. What kind of feather is it, good sir?
Oh, this old thing, love. This is a kangaroo feather. Because people had never seen a kangaroo and they couldn't pull out there was no internet, you couldn't look up, do kangaroos have feathers? So this plume became known henceforth as a kangaroo feather. I kid you not. When World War II started, the writing was on the wall for the horse. Whilst they did see some use, they had mostly become obsolete. At first, the truck replaced the horse, and our men started to become motorised infantry, but trucks were not bulletproof. So quite a number started to morph into armoured car units. So with a changing world where so many light horse units had been disbanded and had been changed into armoured units, the age-old question remained: who was actually allowed to wear this plume? According to the Anzac portal, in 1996, all Royal Australian Armoured Corps personnel were approved to wear the emu plumes in the brim of the slouch hat. So there you have it. That's how this tradition came to be. Anyway, if you've enjoyed learning about Queensland's contribution to Australian history, please check out my other videos. And as usual, anyway, if you've liked this video, please like, subscribe and share. Cheers! Thanks.